Hey, let me tell you something funny. You know that people only seem to miss you after you stop caring. That's the twisted game that life plays, kid. You keep giving your time, your energy, your heart, until you're drained and worn out. But no matter how much you give, it's never enough for them. You keep chasing, hoping one day they'll finally see what you're worth. You bend, you break, you drown in your own silence just to keep them from leaving. But here's the punchline, sweetheart. The more you chase, the faster they run. In the next few minutes, I am going to tell you about the real reason why people take you for granted and push you in the darkness. And listen, by the end of this video, I'm going to give you the real life lessons to get out of these lost situations. Trust me, once you hear these life lessons, you'll never look at your life the same way again, and you will come to know about your real worth. You know what the truth is. People don't value loyalty when it's served to them easy. They respect what's out of reach. They admire the ones who walk away, head held high, without looking back. You give them your heart, they crush it. You go silent, disappear. Suddenly they can't stop thinking about you. That's how messed up the game really is. You think you're doing the right thing by being there for them, by answering every text, calling first, checking in even when they don't give a damn if you're breathing. Nah, that's not love. That's desperation wearing a smile. And they smell it. They smell the fear of losing them all over you. And they feed on it. You're the prey. You're the one begging for scraps while they throw your loyalty into the dirt like yesterday's trash. Let me teach you something real. Respect isn't begged for. It's earned in silence. The moment you stop breaking yourself for them, you become the bad guy. You go quiet, stop chasing, disappear, and suddenly you're cold, you're toxic, you've changed. But the part they'll never mention, you finally caught on to the game. You stopped feeding their ego. You stopped being their emotional doormat. And now they don't like that, because they don't love you. They love what you give them. Attention, validation, control. And when you pull that plug, they panic. And that panic, that's your proof. That's your power. That's your reminder that you were never invisible. You were just too available. You want to know why they respect the ones who ignore them. Because silence is expensive. Because the ones who walk away without a word are the ones who hold the cards. That's the power of indifference. It chokes egos. You stop replying. They spiral. You stop chasing. They start wondering. That's how this world works. It's a sick, twisted dance where love ain't love. It's leverage. They act like they lost something rare. And they did. But not because of what you gave. Because you stopped giving. You were never the background character, kid. You were the whole damn plot. But they didn't see it because you were always there. Always showing up. Always forgiving. Always explaining. You gave them so much. You made yourself small, just to fit into the broken little world they built around themselves. And for what? For a maybe? For a breadcrumb? For the illusion of being wanted? Nah, not anymore. You see, people don't miss you when you're quiet. They miss you when you disappear. They don't cry when you're hurt. They cry when you no longer give them access to your pain. Because your pain was useful. Your loyalty was a drug. And you were their favorite fix. Now, they're cold shaken, wondering where you went. And you ain't coming back. And don't let anyone guilt trip you for choosing yourself, for pulling the damn plug. They'll say you changed, that you've got an ego now, that you don't care like you used to. Of course you don't, because you finally opened your eyes. You finally saw that love isn't proven by how many times you forgive. It's proven by how many times you walk away. When you know your soul's getting drained, you ain't heartless. You're tired. There's a difference. You're tired of being the only one who gives a damn. Tired of building bridges with your bare hands while they're setting fires behind your back. Tired of explaining your worth to people who benefit from pretending you don't have any. So let them talk. Let them twist the story. You don't owe anyone a version of yourself that dies every time they need you to survive. You were never weak for wanting love, but you were blind for thinking it had to be earned through suffering, through silence, through endless chances. That ain't love. That's slavery, emotional servitude, and it ends tonight. No more explaining, no more chasing. You're not here to fix people. You're not a rehab for broken souls who can't love without destroying. You're not a second chance dressed in kindness. You're a one-time blessing. And if they couldn't see that when they had you, they damn sure don't deserve to see it now. You want to talk respect? Respect is earned when you stop showing up where you're not valued. When you walk away with no warning. When you stop explaining yourself to people who only listen to respond. You want them to feel your worth? Disappear. Let the absence fill the room they use to throw your name around in. Let the silence hang over their heads like a ghost they can't forget. And don't look back, not even for a second, because the moment you do, you reopen the wound. You give them another shot to pretend. And you've bled enough, haven't you? You've carried the weight long enough. Hey, my friend, you know what's funny? The way they act, shocked when you finally change. Like you flipped a switch overnight. Like your silence came out of nowhere. You stop chasing, and the whole game changes. They feel it. That silence. It's a mirror. It forces them to look at who they really are without your presence to distract them. And they hate that. Because for the first time, they can't blame you, can't guilt you, can't control you. All they have is the echo of your absence. And that echo don't lie. It screams, you lost something real. But let's talk about you for a second. Not the broken version, not the chasing version, the one that's rising now, the one that finally opened their eyes. You need to understand this. You are not hard to love. You are just trying to be loved by the wrong people. People who ain't got the emotional depth of a puddle. People who only show up when it's easy. People who can't love you because they don't even love themselves. You tried to water dead plants, kid. You poured your soul into people who had holes in their cups. and then blamed you when they stayed empty. But it ain't your job to fill them. Ain't your job to fix them. Your job is to protect your peace, protect your heart, and stop showing up for people who wouldn't cross the street for you if you were dying in the cold. And now you get to build again. But this time, you build different. You stop explaining yourself. Stop lowering your standards just to feel wanted. Stop letting people rent space in your heart who can't even spell the word loyalty. You walk different now. Head up, shoulders back, eyes forward. And if they can't handle that, let them choke on the dust you leave behind. No more begging, no more waiting, no more hoping they change. You've seen enough. When the light switch flips off and they're left standing in the dark, wondering how they fumbled someone who would have done anything for them, let them wonder. Let them sit with that silence. You don't owe them closure. You don't owe them a damn explanation. You owe yourself everything you were begging them to give you. The love, the time, the effort. You were waiting on someone else to show up for you. But the truth is, you were the one you needed all along. That's the cold, hard fact. You're the hero. You're the savior. You're the light at the end of your own damn tunnel. And anyone who can't meet you with that same energy, they don't deserve your attention. See, there's a kind of pain that don't come from being alone. It comes from being surrounded by the wrong people. People who make you question your worth. People who smile while you drown. People who say, "I didn't mean it," after every cut they left on your soul. That pain, that's worse than loneliness. That's betrayal wearing perfume. And the second you stepped back, you stopped inhaling poison. That was the moment your healing started. Not when they apologized, not when they begged, not when they noticed. There is no future in resurrecting the past. You don't climb out of hell just to sit by the fire again. So yeah, let them talk. Let them spin stories. Let them play victim. You stay quiet. Keep your distance. Let your silence speak loud. Let your absence remind them. Not everyone waits around once you figure out what you lost. Some people leave for good. And you? You're one of them now. You don't look back. You don't return. You rise. Hey, if this video made you think differently, don't keep it to yourself. Hit that like button, drop a comment below, and let me know if you're ready. To stay strong, to stay unstoppable, and to build a mind no one can control. Hit that subscribe button. Because let me tell you, this isn't where it ends. Every time you come back here, we'll make your mindset stronger, sharper, and harder to break.